Hey folks, this is Vent with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Epic City Builder 4. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about 20 bucks. As such, everything that you're about to see here, including this review, is subject to change. So what is Epic City Builder 4? Well, you're going to be constructing a nation. Not just a single city, but a nation. So you'll be able to switch between multiple maps and produce various goods. You can build residential and commercial areas, but you can also produce individual products. So, for example, you can produce, like, there's chicken farms that you can put down, or potato farms that you can put down. And then with the production that you're getting from those farms, you can then trade those to other nations that are in this game in order to make more money. I like that. I like the whole production chain. I like the, in original SimCity, you're just building commercial and industrial zones, and they do their thing behind the scenes, and you don't see anything. Now, eventually, City Skylines created, I think, the Industries expansion, where you got to produce specific goods. You painted districts, you produced specific goods, like trees or what have you, farmland, and then you refine those with the buildings inside that district. And that's sort of what this game is attempting to do. It just doesn't do it very well right now. Let me tell you what you can do, and then I'll tell you why I was kind of turned off by it. So, like I said, there are multiple maps that you can switch between, and you can even name each one. So it's kind of like SimCity 4, or even SimCity 3000 in the sense that you can chain off of different off of different areas. So it's not just one map that you're focusing on. There's multiple maps, which is good. And again, you are controlling an entire nation here. So you can even go a military route if you want with this, or you can make peace with your neighbors and, agree to certain things that will increase their view of you and so on. But there's also a military option as basic as it is. So there's plumbing that you have to worry about, similar to City Skylines. They're going to be painting underground pipes so that water can reach its destination. There's power lines. Like I said, there's a ton of different industries that you can get into, but there is a research tree, so you'll have to spend time unlocking all of these different industries. You can build factories at your capital. One of the maps that you can play on is your blue capital area. There's a bunch of green ones, then there's a blue one. The blue one is your capital, and you can put your factory complexes there. And sort of refine things if you want to. You can enact various laws, and like in City Skylines, like toggle on certain edicts and change tax rates and do different things to affect your nation. That's really cool. There's a lot of areas to play on, like in terms of tile. So you'll be able to. It's not like SimCity 5 where the maps are really small. You'll have a decent amount of room here to play around with. There's also no campaign as far as I can tell. It's more sandboxy. The game does recommend the campaign and takes you into it, but it's not like a story mode. It's more of an open world sandbox. So even though the game says campaign, it's more of an open world sandbox, in my opinion. There are scenarios, but they weren't unlocked for me on the main menu. So with all that said, what didn't I like about it? Well, most of it was quality of life issues. For example, I was painting residential zones and commercial zones, and I'm like, well, why isn't anyone moving in? And here I forgot to put a power line down, connecting them. Well, there was no flashing symbol above the zones to tell me, hey, I need power. Like in SimCity or in City Skylines, if you need something, usually the game flashes saying, hey, icon needs power or icon needs water, something. It'll tell you right above that area what you need. This game doesn't do that. If it's not connected properly, it won't grow. And I don't like that. It's a quality of life thing I think that needs to be addressed. There's also, like, when you toggle to build water pipes, there's no existing overlay for the coverage. So, for example, if I go into City Skylines and I go to paint pipes for my water sewage area, there's going to be like brown area where it's not watered and blue area where it is watered. So I can clearly see what's covered and what's not. In this game, when I switch to pipes, I have to guess where my pipes are currently covered. I wish there was a way to toggle on, every single tile that was covered by water so I know where not to paint. So again, quality of life. In terms of the tutorial, it's incomplete. I struggled for 10 minutes, 15 minutes trying to figure out, okay, I researched this particular industry. Why aren't the buildings opening up for me? Here, I was on my blue city, and I didn't know, I can't build farms at that blue city. So I'm like, okay, so I switched to a green area and started my whole process over. Residential, commercial, power plant, got everything connected, fine. I'm like, okay, so where's the industries in the build menu? Here, you have to build enough residential and enough commercial for the menu options to even become available. And they're like hidden, so you can't see them until you complete that milestone. So, well, that's something I wish the tutorial would have told me, because I went to the Steam forums and another person was having the same exact issue I was. So, again, incomplete tutorial, that's another big issue. The UI is quite ugly. There are some menus where, there's bleed through. You can see behind things, making numbers hard to read. Like, the overlays don't have a solid backdrop to them. Instead, they have this see-through black backdrop, and if the colors don't mesh right, then you can't see the text very well. So I think the UI needs to be cleaned up a bit for the layman and for everyone trying to look at it. And there is terrain editing in this game. That's good. However, there's no, click and drag. In order to flatten land or to lower land, I'm sitting there click, 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 click. It's annoying my wrist. So again, there's no click and drag. There's click and drag for roads and for power lines, but there's no click and drag that I can tell or that I can see for, terrain editing. So that makes flattening a bunch of land very annoying. So, I applaud the ideas that are here, and I want to see the game grow and become successful. But right now, the quality of life on it is lacking in a lot of key areas, and it's preventing me from actually enjoying my experience. So my advice to you folks is, if you like what you see and you're really hard up for a city skylines alternative, then give this one a shot. Just be warned, it doesn't look as pretty, and it's very rough around the edges. But if you can't wait, go for it. But if you really want to take my advice, I would say wait on purchasing this until more patches have been introduced and the game has been developed a bit more. Unless you're willing to support the developer now and then you wait later for patches. It's up to you. I don't know this developer in particular. There's no basis of trust there. But, I got a press key, so it doesn't bother me either way. But for you, it may. So I guess my point is, if it were me, wait a while and then pick it up, assuming it follows through on a lot of those quality of life issues. Or if you just, again, if you're that desperate for a city builder, that's slightly different and lets you be a little bit more creative with the industries part of it, then you may want to check this one out. But again, City Skylines has that industrial DLC that you can pick up. There's a number of games like Rise of Industry that is kind of similar to Industry Giant that might fill that need for resource chaining. So it's hard to recommend right now because there are other options out there that do the whole genre better. That being said, I do hope this game does become successful over time. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I open to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.